Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Can I get a mic check this morning? Is it sounding better, or do I still sound like I'm going through a tin can? Okay, if my audio sounds horrible, let me know, and I can take my headphones out and see if it works better that way. But I'm going with the assumption that everything sounds fine. Okay, we are going to start seated. So if you want to sit on something, please grab it. Squeaky block this morning. Nice deep breaths in, nice deep breaths out. Take the time, go through a mental checklist. Thank your body for what it has already done today. Even if that just means it slept. Because some days you sleep better than others. And believe me, on days that you don't sleep well, you're thankful for the days that you do. So if you did sleep decent, be thankful for that. And maybe if you didn't sleep decent, be thankful for the fact that you have a bed that you can go to and sleep at night. There was a little quiz online the other day, basically talking about, are you grateful enough? And it was going through things like, do you have a house that you're not afraid to be kicked out of? Do you have heat? Do you have a warm bed at night? Do you have the ability to read? Do you have the ability to drive? Do you have the ability to have money to pay your bills? And it was just going through all these things that you really kind of take for granted that other people don't necessarily have. Do you have running water in your house? Do you have a working bathroom? Do you have warm clothes that fit you? Do you have shoes? Do you have a toothbrush? Do you have teeth? Do you have access to dental care? Really made me think. A few more breaths here. And then roll those shoulders back and down. And then bring one arm up, tricep stretch. And other side, tricep stretch. out right here. I'm not pulling with the other side either. It's just relaxing. All the stretch is coming from right here. Release the other side. Now we're taking that first arm and bringing it up towards the shoulder blades. So we're doing this motion. Oh, that arm is hanging out back there, doing this. We're gonna bring that top arm and see if we're anywhere close to touching. Right now, I'm nowhere, not even the tiniest bit close. But it's okay. Release that top arm, release that bottom arm. Other side. Bringing it up, reaching towards the opposite shoulder. And then taking that arm, seeing if it comes close. Release the top arm, release the bottom arm. Shake it on out. All right, come on into tabletop. Guess I'm not using. These today. Okay, thought I had enough battery. Thought they were charged, but they're not. Okay, so I'll just talk louder, no worries. Coming into tabletop, swinging those hips a little side to side. And let's do some little scapular push-ups here. So we're going up and down with just the upper body. So it's like dropping it's like I'm coming down and up, but I'm not moving from my neck, I'm moving from my shoulders. Oh, let's come down, you just kind of hold it down here. Flat back. And then come up. Nice flat back. Let's sit back on our heels and come up to tabletop. Let's do that a couple times. And now when I come down, I'm going to come up and I'm going to arch my back to flat. Come back down to my heels. Come up. It's almost like I'm trying to, I don't know, step over a big rock or something. I'm coming up and over, flat and down. Let's do one more. Up, then over, flat and down. All right, just come right back up to tabletop again. Let's take our left hand, bring it towards the middle of our mat, and take the right arm, and then we're just going up and down. And then kind of a little bit of an angle. And come out to the side. Back angle. And straight back. Now I know this stabilizing hand is feeling it. We're almost done. Okay, let's switch out. Right hand is near the center. And let's come up and down. fingertips are spread nice and wide. Out at an angle. To the side. Angle behind. And straight back. Release, sit back on the heels, move around those wrists. All right, we're going to do the same thing with the lower body. If you would like to be on your hands like we just were, or if you want to be on your forearms, that's totally fine. Especially if you have like a block or something handy, you can be on your forearms here instead of here. Or you can tilt it here. Like here, honestly, I'm not that much different in height between the two. So I can always do this as an option. And you know what? I think I'm gonna. But you can totally be on your hands like we just were. Okay, so take your right foot back and just lift it up and down. Out into a little bit of an angle. Out to the side. Come back to the middle. Let's do the other side. Lift those legs, that left leg back and lift and lower. Add a bit of an angle. Out to the side. And then come back. Come on up. Now, on your knees, bring that foot in front at an angle. Lift. And all the way front. Look. Here, reset, other side. A forward angle. And then come to the front. Up and down. Beautiful. Sit back on your heels. Move those wrists around. Shake them. Do whatever feels good. Okay, now we're going back into our tabletop. We're going to take our right leg behind. We're going to lift it up. And then take our left hand and lift it up. And hold. Come down. Other side, left leg comes up, toes down. Right hand and hold. And come down. First side again, come on up. This time bring elbow to knee. Tap it in and out. 9 more. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Immediately bring that down. Other side, then we'll take a break. Come on up. Tapping in and out. 9 more. For 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Come down. Back on those heels and swing those legs around in front. You can grab some water if you want. Point and flex those toes. Shake around. And bring those heels to touch. Grab the feet and then just lean forward. Give that upper body a little bit of a break. Turn and face one knee. And just lean on in. Turn and face the other knee. And lean on in. Come back to the center. We're going to go a little deeper. Hopefully you're not holding your breath. Turn and face one knee. And we're not pulling ourselves down there. And then other way. Come on in and bring those knees in. Give them a big squeeze. Drop that head. Stretch out the back of the neck. And release. Okay, I would like you to roll onto your side. I'm going to go this way so you can see. I'm going to go into a side plank variation. So I'm here. And I'm here. So my knee and shoulder, my knee and hip are roughly in line. My shoulder and wrist are roughly in line. And this top leg is out. I'm going to bring this top arm up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down, lift, and tap. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that 15 times, okay? Let's go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Beautiful. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Check to make sure my hip and shoulder are lined up with my wrist and knee. Top arm up. And we're going down and up 15 times. Let's go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, beautiful. Come on back, sit on your heels, take a second. Make any adjustments that you need, and then we're gonna make our way into downward dog. So get into your downward dog, pedal it out, get comfortable, and then find your stillness. No rush. Really feel free to bend those knees Stretch out the back. I like swaying side to side a little bit. So straighten one leg and bend the other one very generously. And then switch to the other side. Come back to center. Bend one elbow a little bit. Start stretching out one side of the body. And then switch, bend the other elbow a little bit. Feels good to walk those feet to meet the hands and roll it all the way up. Oh, I have so much static going on this morning. It's crazy. I swear if the lights were off, I'd be a firework. Arms up. Grab the opposite elbow and lean to one side. And switch. Come back to center. Release those hands. Okay, so we're going to try something. And if it's a total and utter failure, don't worry about it. I want you to squat on down. So you're going to a stand. So we're going to try these little kick throughs. And I did a little bit of work with them yesterday, and they take a little bit of wiggling around. But today we're going to try a couple to each side, and if they work for you. If they don't work for you, not a problem. Just try. That's all I ask. Okay? All right. So we're here. We're in this little bit of a hover. I want you to lift your right leg. And I want you to walk yourself back. And we're going to kick it through. And then drop that foot. And I move my hands all the way around. It's not a problem. Do what you need to do. Then take those hands in front. And kick that leg back. Try it again. Bring that knee in. Walk those hands back. And kick it through. Now I need to touch my foot down. That's okay. And let's bring it back. Bring that knee in. Kick it through. Now relax. We're going to try it 2 more times, but that leg that's supporting us is doing a lot of work. So if you're flexible and if you have strength in different parts of your body and your leg is feeling really good, you can do that flip through without having that foot touch the ground. I can't. Sometimes it's just how it works in life. So if your foot is touching, if you have to touch down, if your butt touches, whatever it happens to be, it's fine. We're just going through a movement that you probably haven't done before, and it's going to be awkward. So we have 2 more times on this right side here. Okay, so let's come on up. Let's hover those knees. Bring that right foot back in behind. Bring that knee in. Bring it through. Come on back. Leg out. And bring that foot through. And then release. Relax. Take a second. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to grab some water. Do so. When I look at these on video, they make it look so easy, and then you do it and you're like, you know what? Not so easy. Okay, so we're going to do the other side. So now it's our left foot, our knee that's going to come through. And when I bring that leg in, I'm putting that full foot on the ground, my heel's touching. You can hover it, totally cool. My foot's on the ground, so don't worry if your foot's on the ground too. Welcome to the club. Okay, so we're hovering. Bring that left foot back. Bring that knee in. Bring those hands back. And switch. Bring it out behind you. Kick it back. Bring that knee in. Bring those hands down. In front. time and then we'll break. Bring that leg in. Ooh. And relax. We have 2 more times. If you can keep this leg, this knee hovering, great. If you can't, hop on the ground. Same before, it's just a different movement than our body's used to. Challenging you mentally, challenging you physically. All right, last 2. Lift those knees up. Left knee in. Ooh. Leg in front. Leg behind. And one side's gonna be a lot easier than the other. And leg in front. And drop it down. Oh, okay. Experiment done. How did you do? I did it. Lay all the way down on your back. Bring those knees in and tent them, and bring those hands to a cactus or a field goal shape, and just let those arms relax. I feel a lot of stretching in my chest and my shoulders, but that's me. Everyone's pecs are a little bit tighter or looser than anyone else's. Releasing some of that heat we build up in our little modified kick-throughs. Bring those hands to your belly, walk those feet in, cross your left leg over your right. Point those toes up to the ceiling. Let's do some crunches while we're back here. So, arms back behind your head or across your chest. We're gonna bring our right elbow towards our left knee. It does not need to touch, don't worry about it. I don't want you pulling on your head and neck. So just gonna come up, rotate, and back down. We're gonna do 9 more. So 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Relax that leg. Other side. Right leg is crossed over to the left. My toes are pointed up towards the ceiling. All right, I'm going to take this left elbow, bring it towards that right knee. I'm going to come up and back down. 9 more. For 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on down. Bring those feet down and just drop them to one side. Hands still behind the head or across the chest, wherever they ended up. Just keep them there. And then come back to center and drop them to the other side. Back through center, hug your knees, rock 2 or 3 times, and then we're going to roll over and make our way back into downward dog. Okay, so we're going to do those kick through modifications a little differently this time. We're going to go into downward dog, and then we're going to bring that foot through into a lunge position and bring it back out. So it's going to be probably a lot easier for you. So we start out with a harder version. Harder version on the ground, easier version in the air. Okay, so downward dog, feeling good. Let's bring the right leg up and back. Bring that knee in, Bring that foot down, tap, come up if you want, or stay down, come back, reset. 4 more of those. Leg up, bring that knee in, foot on the ground, optional roll up, down, reset, lift up, knee in, foot on the ground. 2 more. Up, knee in, foot on the ground. Roll up. And down, reset. Leg up, bring that knee in, foot on the ground. Roll up. Back down, plank, all the way down to the ground. Bring those hands underneath your chin. Take a couple seconds. Bend those knees and just windshield wiper them side to side. Hopefully that version was easier for you. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe the other version was easier for you. Drop those knees and feet to one side. And push it out. Come back through center. Bring those feet down. Come through tabletop. Into downward dog. So we can do the other side. Take that left foot up behind you. Bring that knee in. Pop that foot on the ground. Optional roll up. And down. Reset. 2. Knee in. Foot on the ground. Roll up. And down. Reset. Leg up. Knee in. Foot on the ground. Come on up. Back down. 2 more. Reset. Foot up. Bring that knee in. Foot on the ground. Roll up. Down. Reset. Lift that leg up. Bring that knee in. Foot on the ground. And roll up. So there's some sneaky abs in there. Come on down. Release. Come all the way down to the ground. And then I want you to roll onto your back. So I'm just going to face this way. But you can just roll over how you are. Roll over on your back. Beautiful. Rock your knees side to side. And then point those knees up to the ceiling. Bring those feet in towards your tailbone. And we're going to do some plank, some bridge marches, sorry. So we're just going to lift those hips off the ground and walk one foot out, the other foot out, and then in, and then in, and then drop. So the next time we come up, we're going to start with the other leg. March out, march in, hips down. Okay, so keep on alternating which side starts. So hips up, out, in, hips down. Keep going at your own pace. Your hands can be wherever they need to be for balance. If you don't need them, put them across your chest or behind your head. But having them down by your side is perfectly acceptable. We're going to do 2 more, leading with each leg. So I'm equaling myself out now. So I have 2 more leading with the right and 2 more leading with the left. And when I'm done, my hips go down, my knees go out to the sides, and my feet touch. My hands are just on my belly, taking big breaths in. All right, so while we're down here, let's do a little constriction of the abdominal cavity. So we have that point, that turning of the hips where we have that kind of a bowl of water or tea or whatever sitting right below our belly button, and we can tilt our hips, our pelvis, and the coffee cup or teacup goes like this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to imagine we have a corset or a tight waistband of a pair of pants or something, and we're just squeezing it all in and then releasing. Pulling that drawstring in and releasing 3 more times. In and out. In and out. In and out. Take those hands, bring those knees in. We're going to do some crunches with that activation of the core. So I want you to squeeze it all in and then do your crunch and then come down. And see if you can keep that squeezing, that drawstring effect in the whole time. I'm going to put my hands across my chest. I'm going to pull everything in. I'm going to crunch, come back down, and release. So I'm going to do 9 more of those at my own pace, squeezing in every time I crunch. And then you can release and reactivate and just keep going. All right? Sounds good? Whenever you're ready, go ahead. We're not holding our breath. I have 2 more left. If you haven't been counting, you can do the last one with me. And then release. Take some nice full breaths. Okay, we're going to do some feet up in the air. If you have a block, you can use it. I'd stick it right underneath your hips and lift those feet in the air. If you don't, and you have a couch or something nearby, you can put your feet up against that as support. So we're gonna lift those feet up, and we're gonna hold it here for 3 minutes. Enough time for the blood to come out of our lower extremities, the extra blood, not all the blood, obviously. My hands are just on my belly, and I'm just relaxing here. I'm letting gravity do the work. We do have 1 more set of abs, so use this as a nice relaxing time. About another minute. Starting to feel a little tingly in my feet. But it's not uncomfortable. It just feels different. Slowly lower your knees and your feet, and then bring everything back towards the ground. If you need to squish away from your couch or whatever, give you a second to do so, and then those knees are coming out to the side. Hands are going behind your head, and we're doing one more set of those crunches with those squeezes of the core. So we're pulling everything in like that drawstring or corset type motion, and then doing our crunch. We're going to do 15, and then we get Shavasana. All right, so we're going to do them slow and controlled. We're not going to rush through them, and we're going to squeeze in, do our crunch, release the crunch, release the activation. So we're having to activate 15 times. We're learning the activations. That's why we're doing it so much. All right, let's go at your own pace. I'm starting my number 9. If you're ahead of me, slow down. If you lost count, I have 5 more to go. And once you are done, you can bring those knees together and set up for your Shavasana. If you're still going, keep going, no rush. So how different did those abs feel than your regular crunch? Hopefully they did feel different, because you're activating the core differently. Getting those smaller intrinsic muscles. We are going to end class in Shavasana today. So I will tell you when it is 7:45. But I want you to relax and take your time to come out of Shavasana nice and slow. Thank you for joining me today. It is 7:45 if you have a reason to be on a tight schedule this morning, or this evening or this afternoon. But please, I invite you to stay a little bit longer, even another 30 seconds. You're worth it.
You did awesome. We did a lot of core work today. Awesome job. See you later.